Hey folks, how the hell are you? I'm Houston.
And I'm Kaylen, and you're listening to Crime or Reason.
Oh, that was a long one. Did you hear that carbonation?
That was a long one.
What is that, Kay?
We are just hanging out today. We've got a new setup here. We're feeling great about it.
And you could definitely see it, right? Tell us how good it looks. We did some rearrangement and really rearranging, and really got it together down here. So
Yeah.
got some unnecessary echoing out.
Yes.
So we're really excited about it. So we just finished our first week out with our podcast. Oh, we are so excited.
You guys pulled through.
Yes, we are very, very excited with the outcome. You guys have been incredibly supportive, which we are super, super thankful for.
We did not expect to hit over 100.
Yeah,
downloads.
and we are well over 100 downloads now, so we're feeling pretty good about it. So, and we're really glad that you guys liked it. We've gotten some really good feedback. So just make sure that you guys keep listening and bringing the energy and support that you guys are, because it means so much to us. So
Yes. So today we are doing a little short here, and it is
a little. Would you say a spooky short?
A little spooky short, and it is all about some fun Disney stories.
I do love Disney.
I also love Disney.
I have a Mickey Mouse tattoo.
I'm a princess.
You are. We are.
We have some origin stories here for you all that are lots of fun. So they're a little spookier than the usual Disney that you know of.
Not to brag, she also put my favorite one on there. I don't know any of the other ones that she's doing, but she did put my favorite on there, which I'm incredibly excited about.
And there's a little bit of a twist, because you might be a little mad at me because it's not quite the Brothers Grimm story.
Oh, God.
Oh.
This is it.
Yep.
She's ruining it for me.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I promise.
We'll see.
All right. So we are starting off with Lion King. And I'm going to go from the shortest to the longest because we got to be quick. Lord have mercy. So The Lion King is a loose version of Hamlet. And, like the jealous brother kills the king. The son finds out and he wants revenge. His friends try to distract him, which Timon and Pumbaa, like out here trying to do the little dances and stuff like that. And they want to keep it from happening, like the killing of the king. They want to keep it from happening. But he kills the evil brother anyway, right? He ends up dying in the end. Scar dies, right? Except in Hamlet, everyone dies.
Correct.
So, yep, that's The Lion King. That's the basis of The Lion King.
That's weird. I guess I never really thought that Lion King would have been based on something.
Right.
I would have just been like, that's a cute story about, cute-ass little lion cub.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, moving on. We're going to Sleeping Beauty. Okay. And I use I'm going to butcher this, Giambattista Basile version.
That is a name.
A name.
I was in Sleeping Beauty once.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. It was crazy. It was at our local community theater, and I did some of the editing for the music, and I was an assistant director, and I was a choreographer.
Love it.
I was a prop designer,
right?
And I played 2 different characters in the production, and I controlled 2 of the props.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were out there doing it.
It was a crazy time.
Well, I am a Sleeping Beauty, so.
Same. My third shift schedule, that's all I do.
Sleep. Okay. So in this story, the king walks by her castle and knocks on the door. When he gets no answer, because obviously she's sleeping, he goes and gets a ladder and climbs through her window. So this is the story that, we're based off of.
Right, the original.
So he sees Sleeping Beauty and he calls out to her, but of course she doesn't respond.
Because she's asleep.
Exactly. He then proceeds to carry her to the bed.
Okay.
And then he rapes her and leaves.
Oh.
Yeah. So now the reason that she awakens in this story is because she gives birth to twins. And then She wakes up because one of them sucked the flax from the spindle out of her finger. So the twin sucks the poison that has been in her finger out. Okay. So she wakes up. The king comes back, and I guess somehow they fall in love. And the only problem, though, is that the king is still married. He has a wife.
Yes.
Yeah. So his wife finds out about it, and she tries to have these twins killed, cooked, and then fed to the king.
Yeah. That's how I handle all of my infidelity situations.
Yeah. So she also tries to burn the princess at the stake. She fails at both. She does not make the king eat the babies. And somehow the king and the princess get married and end up living happily ever after.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
She's a little dark.
That's
a little dark-based story here.
I think about some of these older stories, and I think to myself, obviously prior to Disney, like the original, what fucking audience were you writing this for?
Like, who are you talking to here?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you wrote that book or that story, and you were like, oh, somebody's going to read this. And obviously somebody did, and they made Disney shows out of it. But, like, what audience was it that you were catering to?
Right. Like, who?
Right.
Who? So, moving on. Again, we're going to Cinderella. And
I do know the Cinderella one, and I love it. And while I haven't completely like read the story, I do know a bunch of the differences. And it's funny because obviously I'm a musical person.
Yes.
And so in Into the Woods, they actually base those off more the Brothers Grimm versions as opposed to the Disney movies, because they're Into the Woods isn't really based on Disney.
Yeah.
So like it goes into like how the stepsisters were trying to get the shoes on, and it bases that
off of the Brothers Grimm. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen. So I use the Brothers Grimm here, and the story is pretty well the same, except she doesn't have a fairy godmother. It's actually her mother's grave that she goes to, where she plants a tree and she prays under it every day, and that's how she ends up with the dresses. That's how she ends up with like all the stuff that she gets in the story.
So everything's coming off this tree.
Right. It's like
the giving
birds.
Tree.
Like there's birds that come down and like help her out. Like the birds are the biggest part of the story. There's not really mice involved, but the birds are the biggest part.
And I'm a little more afraid of birds than I am mice. I'm not like super afraid of either of them, but if I had my choice, I would want mice. They're cute.
Instead of them making her do like all of her chores to make sure she doesn't go to the ball, her stepmother makes her pick lentils out of a bowl. Like she throws like lentils in a bowl of like grains, and she's like, you have to pick all of those lentils out of this bowl of grains to keep her from going to the ball. But she still gets to go. And in the story, there are 3 different balls that she gets to go to. She goes to the first one, she meets the prince, and all of it, happens. She runs away, of course. But the last time, she dances with the prince, and they fall in love. She loses her slipper because the prince actually, on that 3rd night, put sticky stuff on the stairs, and that's why the shoe gets stuck, because he knew she was going to be there. He put that sticky stuff down. He knew she was going to run away. So
he was doing it to catch her,
yes.
Or to catch her shoe?
Right. So he was trying to keep her there. When they do come, the prince is, of course, looking for his princess, Cinderella. And when they find the house that the sisters are in, the first sister, in order to put the shoe on, cuts off her toes for her to fit in there. And the little birds that are at the tree point out that there's blood on the shoe, and that's not his lady. The second sister,
I really like these birds. They're just like,
they are
hey, dude,
coming through
listen,
for Cinderella.
Here's the tea. That bitch just cut off her own fucking toes. Yes. It's not her.
Yes. Right. So now the second sister, she tries to fit into the slipper and of course can't. And she cuts off her heel to fit into the shoe. So now we've got blood on the shoe again. The birds say, hey, there's blood on that shoe. That's not her. So finally, he comes back to the house. He's like, you guys got any more girls here? And their father is like, yeah, there's one, but that's Cinderella. She's not anything. Basically, she's our kind of like our maid.
Oh, so the father's a dick in this? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and he had like remarried within a year of her mother dying. So it was...
Which we don't judge. We don't judge how quick.
We don't judge how quick. But...
It just makes it, like, based on how he treats Cinderella.
Exactly. Once he got the new family, he treated Cinderella like she was trash, basically, that could be tossed away. Finally, the prince finds Cinderella. And like I said, the birds have been, like, trying so hard to get them together this whole time. However, when they go to the wedding, of course, you know, stepmom and the sisters are invited. And at the wedding, both of these stepsisters actually get both of their eyeballs plucked out by birds as punishment for lying and trying to...
Is it random birds, or is it the birds from the tree?
It's the birds from the tree.
Okay.
Like, I think they said that they were pigeons.
Okay.
That went in and pecked out their eyes.
Right, yeah.
So, that's how the story ends.
Coincidentally, or, like, not really coincidentally, but, you know, strangely enough, Into the Woods, that's actually how it happens.
Really?
Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
I've never seen, particularly with that one, I've never seen it actually on stage, but I saw the movie on Christmas when it came out. And, yeah, like, the stepmother and the sisters are attacked by birds. Like, that's the last time that you see that of them.
Yep. That's crazy. Crazy. So that's what Cinderella is based off of.
I do like Cinderella. If it wasn't for my favorite, Cinderella would probably be my favorite. Like, it's definitely my second one, but my favorite one is just the best.
So, the Little Mermaid is the next one. And
I do love the Little Mermaid too. It's like wild because it makes more sense for the type of person that, like, the character that Ursula's based off of. Which she's based off this character, but she was also based on by a drag queen is what her persona came from. I don't know if you knew that one.
Love
like
it.
her whole makeup and her idea was based on, like, the look of a drag queen, which we stand drag queens in this household.
Yes. So, this story is based off of a Hans Christian Andersen's tale. So we're, like, venturing away from Brothers Grimm for a minute. So the story is, again, pretty well the same, except the mermaid in this story can only remain human if she finds true love, but if she fails, she dies. So there's no, happy ending there. There's no, she gets to go back to being a mermaid. She was motivated to become human because mermaids do not have eternal souls, but humans do. So they get to basically live on forever as an eternal soul.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's new. I did not know that.
Yeah. And when she does get her legs, apparently every single step that she takes will feel like she's walking on shards of glass. So it's not all happy-go-lucky when she gets her legs running around with the prince, The prince, just like in the movie, marries a different woman thinking she's the one who saved him. So, also she's told that if she kills the prince, she can just turn back into a mermaid and not die. But she obviously can't bring herself to do it because she loves him. And so instead she throws herself into the sea where she becomes sea foam and she becomes a daughter of the air and gets stuck in a purgatory-like place where she has to do good deeds to try and earn a soul. There is no actual happy ending here.
Yes, but considering what could have happened, I feel like it's not that bad. Like, she could try to earn a soul. And, like, when she earns that soul, does her soul just pass on?
It just lives on, yeah.
Okay,
Like
I mean, that's
soul.
not awful, because I've always heard it just stop at the sea foam.
Right.
Also, I did not know that she could kill the prince. And,
be able to just turn back into a mermaid.
And my dude, let me tell you, his ass is out. It would have been donezo for him. I would have taken out his wife just for fun, just for good measure. I would have been like, you know what, you're both going.
Yep. So it's pretty well just like the same story, except there's not. I mean, there is a happy ending, but not quite exactly.
Right. Like, it could be happy. Yeah, it could be happy
after kind of thing. So
she just got to do more good deeds.
More good deeds and hard work.
Do you remember? It reminds me of, oh my god, is this what it's based off of? Do you remember the Nickelodeon show 100 Good Deeds for Eddie McDowd?
I can't say that I do.
So it was about this, he was like a teenage boy who was kind of like a heathen.
A heathen?
A heathen, or the way that my good Southern family would say, heathen.
Heathen.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was like a heathen, just kind of, like some fuckery afoot. He gets turned into a dog, and the whole series is him doing 100 good deeds so that he can turn back into a human. Like, that was a Nickelodeon show. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I remember growing up. Look it up if you haven't. It was great.
Look it up if you haven't. So, that was...
Let's do another one. We still haven't gotten to my favorite, so...
Okay, we've got 2 more here. So, Snow White is
You saved my favorite for last.
I did.
Okay.
Yes, because like I said, it's a little bit of a twist on there.
A little bit of a twist. I might vomit. It's fine.
Okay, so next we have Snow White, and I went back to the Brothers Grimm version of this. So, in this one, and I also found, I think, somewhere else, that in the story, the queen, Snow's mother, her actual mother, she pricks her finger on a needle and it falls onto some snow that she was like sewing over, and she likes the way it looks, so that's where she got the name for her daughter, Snow White.
Oh. Okay. I mean, let's go. I'm down.
She liked the way that the blood looked on the white snow.
So why didn't you call her like Snow Red?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
That's fine.
So, after her mother died, her father remarried again within a year to a woman who loved to look in the mirror.
Me.
So, like I said, we don't judge about remarrying quickly because obviously, families gotta have families. So, but within a year, like I said, they married to a woman who loved to look in the mirror, and just like in the movie, the quote, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" She, all the time.
Fun
always,
fact,
every single day.
that quote actually is a magic mirror on the wall.
It is. I was going to say something about that, you stinker.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a stepmom who loves to look in the mirror. When Snow White grows up, she comes into her life obviously really early. So when Snow White grows up, just like in the story, she became the most beautiful woman in the land. And her stepmom becomes very, very jealous. Very jealous. She sends the huntsman with Snow to kill her and bring back, and little difference here, her lung and her liver, not her heart, is supposed to go kill her, bring back her lung and her liver, and the queen is going to eat it. So that's the way to prove that, and that's supposed to prove that Snow is dead. And of course, just like in the story, he can't do it. He doesn't want to kill her. He gets convinced by her that she just needs to live. So he takes back a boar's lung and liver, and the queen eats them, believing that they're Snow White's. When she looks in the mirror and says, "Magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" the mirror again says, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." And so she finds out that Snow has already been living. She's gone to the dwarves' dwelling, and in the story they don't have names or anything. The queen actually goes back to this place 3 separate times. So the first time she goes, she ties her up in lace that is too tight, and she ends up passing out. The queen thinks she's dead. She leaves. She's not. The dwarves save her. They unlace her, and she's good to go. Then the next time she comes back, she brings back with her a comb that's poisonous. It's got poison on it. She uses it to brush her hair, and she passes out from that poison going into her head. But again, the dwarves save her. When she comes back the final time, she brings what's called the poisonous apple. Have to say it twice because it is very, very poisonous.
Okay, so it's not just a poisonous apple, but a poisonous apple.
Yeah, double poisonous apple.
Okay.
So she convinces Snow White to take a bite by biting into one side of it that's not poison. So she bites into it, and she's like, "See, it's fine. You can bite into it." So she bites into it, of course, and falls down and goes into her possibly death. The dwarves can't revive her this time, so they put her in the glass coffin, and they put her name on it, and then, they go about their way. They do what they do. Then, a few years later, a prince comes and falls in love with Snow White. She's just so beautiful that he's just absolutely befallen on her. So, when he sees her. He's like, I need her to be with me. He tries to buy her off the dwarves, and when they refuse, he says he will die if he can't see her every day. So, like I said, they obviously refuse, and he tries more and more to convince them, and so they let him take her. As his servants are carrying Snow to the castle, they drop her. And...
But so fucking would I. I would have dropped that bitch on her head, bless her. I would have picked her back up, but like, I'm a klutz, so yeah, it would have happened.
Yeah. So they drop her. The jolt effectively performs the Heimlich maneuver, so she was choking on the apple. So the Heimlich maneuver is performed, the apple flies out of her mouth, and she awakens, and the prince takes her back to his castle and wipes her up.
So you're telling me, I am so sorry, this queen tried to kill her 4 separate times. All of them were whack. I don't know who is telling you how to kill these people, but they're bullshit.
Yep.
And then the straight white man didn't even save her. It wasn't
even a kiss.
It was her shotties.
It wasn't even
her
a kiss.
shotties were the ones that helped her out.
Yep.
I mean, I like that story better. It makes it seem a little more empowering.
Now listen, at the wedding,
okay,
of course, stepmom is invited.
Right.
Right.
Because you gotta rub it in her face. We're petty.
Gotta rub it in her face.
We stay petty here.
So petty. So, the dear evil stepmom sees Snow, and she is so petrified with fright that she couldn't budge. What they do while she can't budge is they put iron slippers on her that had been heated over a fire so hot that they had to carry them with tongs. They put them on her, and she has to dance in those slippers until she dies.
Yes. You haven't solved all of your mommy issues doing that?
Casually. Been like,
hey, just
go ahead and dance in some slippers that I've just held over a fire.
Right. Like, Mom, get in those fucking slippers.
Just slap
I'm just
slippers on your
kidding,
feet.
Mother. If you're listening to this, which based on my language and profanities, you shouldn't be, I would never put you in slippers, molten slippers.
I also have a stepmom, and I would not put her in molten
I was talking
slippers.
about my mom. I wouldn't put my stepmom in there either. I'd put you in a home, but I would never put you in slippers. There's a billion of us. One of my brothers and sisters will take care of Mom.
A billion of you.
There sure are. You know half of them.
Oh, I know. I seen your wall during Christmas with all your little stockings up there.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I know it.
It's a wild time. Speaking of which, let's go on a tangent because we love them.
We love them.
My sister got married yesterday.
Woo!
Yes.
So exciting.
So, and she was, I'm a little biased because she's my sister, but my sister's always pretty. She's a stunning individual. Mm-hmm. She's beautiful face, beautiful hair, perfect body. She's amazing. She gave me 2 nephews and a niece that I just absolutely adore. Mm-hmm. I just absolutely love her. But she got married yesterday and was stunning.
Big
like,
congratulations.
Absolutely beautiful. Like,
I can't wait to see pictures.
Yeah, they're on Facebook now. Mom posted them.
Are they?
Yeah. So, and I remember the guy who did the sound for the music, like, walked up to me and my mom and was like, y'all's bride. Like, she's just
Stunning.
absolutely beautiful. One of the most beautiful brides I've ever seen.
And pictures never do them justice.
Right, yeah. Which Tyler's pictures look really good. I'll show you the profile picture later. So,
Exciting.
congratulations, Casey and Tyler. Tyler is the girl, Casey is the boy. Let's not get that twisted. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little confusing. But, yeah, so I'm very, very happy. It was a great wedding. All of my nieces and nephews were there. I had some family that generally aren't at our family functions, like my first cousins, or like my uncle's side, and so they came, and so my papa was just over the moon because it was all of his great grandkids were there. Aww. So my papa was just chilling with and my oldest, because these are like my second cousins and like my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
So the oldest one is Brantley, and he's 7.
Aww,
so there are just
babies.
like 8 great grandkids. that are just swarming
Under the ages of 7.
that are under the age of 7
Woo.
that are swarming my papal, and my papal just has a grin from like ear to ear. He is so excited.
Yes.
So it was a fun time. So anyway, sorry for the tangent. I'm very, very happy for her. I love my sister incredibly much, and it was a beautiful wedding. I was happy to be a part of it.
Well, a fun segue. You're gonna love this story because it's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
Okay, so Rapunzel. So, you know the Brothers Grimm version.
I am pretty aware.
I'm pretty aware. It's the, usual. They're all pretty lightly based off of these stories. So, like, of course, they're all happily ever after, happy endings and stuff. So, it's the usual. She sees a prince, and in the Brothers Grimm version, and she gets seduced by this prince, and she gets pregnant. The prince somehow falls in love and is blinded by some thorns. He wanders through the forest while she gives birth, and they end up finding each other and being all happy. Right? That's the Brothers Grimm version.
You told that really quickly. But yeah, like, in a nutshell, that's what happened.
Because
He does
I
get kicked
have
out.
a true story that this is based off of. Yep. I
Wait,
told you
I'm
you're
sorry.
gonna be mad at me.
Is this about to be criminal?
Twisty story. Yeah.
We
It's about to
segued
be criminal.
directly into true crime.
Yes. So, now the OG story is written by a man named Jacobus Voragine.
Let's go.
So, it's set in Italy in 1275 CE.
I love Italy.
And the original Rapunzel's name is Saint Barbara. The beautiful Barbara was the daughter of a rich merchant man. She was so beautiful that men were lining up to take her hand in marriage. And her father told them that he wanted to interview them first. So, Barb was a little bit of... Barb was a bit of a spiteful person.
She's a bit of a bitch.
She wanted to choose who she married. She wanted to choose.
She wanted
not
to chew them.
her father. So she was the one who wanted to choose who she was going to marry, which of course we all do.
Right.
Because she was being so rebellious, he decided that while he was away for work, he had to lock her up in a tower.
Lock her in that tower.
While in this tower, he would send townspeople to look after her. While he was gone, obviously making money, he had the townspeople sending up stuff in baskets for her to eat and to entertain herself. So they were sending up books, they were sending up fruits, they were, all the stuff going up.
Did you say this was a real story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's true. I told you you're going to love it.
Let's go. Keep going.
Yeah. So they were sending stuff up to her, and somebody sent her a book up about Christianity. Now, remember, we're in Italy, and her father practiced the traditional pagan religion of Rome. Christianity was looked at as illegal in these days. So,
what a turn of events.
Yep. I'm excited. So Barbara, being the rebellious person she was, had decided she was going to take on the Christianity religion. She was having, like, these people would come, well, her father's gone, like, a really long time. So he was having people work on this tower and stuff. She was like, will you put 3 windows in there to represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? She's picked up Christianity, and this is breaking the law. And it was fully out of spite for her father because he was, trying to pick her husband, all this stuff. Now, this was one of the worst things she could possibly do. The way that the tower was set up, she could come down and up. That's how she met the construction workers who were working on her tower. They were, able to talk to her and stuff like that. Now, she goes down from her tower and she destroys all of her father's pagan idols. So everything he's put up, she's destroyed. Now, he finally returns home and he sees what she's done. And he's like, oh, no, ma'am. Absolutely not. Because Christianity was against the law in these times.
Right.
So, because she was practicing it, he was harboring a criminal in this tower. So, he drug her by her long hair down to court. And in front of the judge, he asked her why she did it, and she replied that she only answers to her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So, for punishment, the people tortured her. of course, the way we handle
I
anything.
love torture. It's my favorite thing to do to people I don't like or that
So-
don't agree with me.
They cut her skin with knives, and then they threw salt into the wounds.
And this is real.
Yes, this is
Okay.
a real story. Yeah,
Okay.
it happened in, like I said, 1275 CE.
All right, let's go.
They cut her, threw salt into her wounds, they burned her, and when she was too weak to go on, her own father chopped off her head. So now the long hair is not anywhere near as pertinent in this story. However, there is a Persian version, like of
Ooh,
Rapunzel.
I love the Persian version.
A Persian version of Rapunzel, where the lady in the tower lets down her long hair to let her lover know that she's in the tower. And much like the Brothers Grimm story, she gets pregnant and they fall in love and, you know, they have babies. So the long hair has like evolved over time. But the main story that I've found that this Rapunzel was based off of is this story.
The only the only similarity is that she was locked in a tower.
Yeah. So we've got
Yeah, it was a twist. It was not
twisty
I'm
stories.
into it. I'm into, especially because it's true. I love a good true story. Anything that's based on any sort of like bit of reality, I'm into.
Yep.
So
So we mixed a little true crime in here.
yeah,
Back in 1275 CE.
I love that. What is CE compared to BC and AD?
I don't know the answer to that
long-ass
one.
time
a
ago.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
maybe we'll get the answer sometime.
we'll look it up. We'll let you know on the next one.
Yeah.
But okay, I really enjoyed that. I'm a huge fan of Disney. I'm a
Disney's
huge
my
fan of
favorite.
horror. So like when I get to mix the two together, I'm just like, let's go.
Fire.
So literally fire.
Literally fire.
Literally molten fire slippers that I dance in until I die.
Yes.
So, but
But we love Disney. We love the dark stuff. So
that was good. I really liked it.
Thank
You
you.
could really tell which ones it's like you researched all of them, but you could
Yes.
tell which ones you were really into.
because a lot of them are similar to the Disney stories, but
But when you get the ones that
when
aren't,
you get
yeah.
the ones that aren't, it's like they're far off and there's more to tell. So
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you actually have the next Crew Crime. Whoop, there we are. Crew Crime.
True Crime Podcast.
Podcast, yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
you've got the next True Crime episode too, right?
My case, yes
So-
it is.
And I know nothing about her case that's coming up. I didn't research it, but like even when she mentioned it to me, I've never even heard of it. But just by the name, I can tell that it's going to be a wild time.
Yep, but it has a lot to do with skin, so
Love skin. Well, we are again. We are so thankful to have you guys supporting
thankful.
us. It really means so much to us, and we know that everybody says that, but just the fact that we were able to even get like 10 people to listen to our podcast and to have the turnout that we did, like it just really means a lot. Kaylen and I have spent the entire week just like nonstop communication, talking, and because we have so much planned. We are so excited.
yes, it's amazing, you all. Make sure that you go check us out. We are on Facebook. You can follow us.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have a YouTube that you want to go ahead and follow that a couple months down the road. We're going to actually start videoing our podcast. We're going to start videoing when we're recording our podcasts. So that'll be fun. So you can kind of actually like feel like you're sitting in the room with us. That'll be
Right.
fun. So, and then we also have a TikTok now.
Yep, we're about
so
to hit up the TikTok.
yeah, so TikTok will be fun. That'll be again once we start recording our episodes on video, but also too it'll just be Kaylen and I getting on there and just doing some weird funky shit that we
Having
like.
some- lots of fun.
So we're very, very excited. And you can follow us on all of those, or you can follow us on any of our social medias. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at CrimeOrReason. So any of those, you are good to follow us. We're going to be posting a lot more on there. We just started all those up. So we'll be posting a lot of stuff on there that we're really excited for. So definitely be sure to follow us and please message us. We want the emails. Send us some emails. Just have a conversation with us.
Yes.
Also, if you don't care, please leave a review. Please leave a rating. All we ask is that if you're going to leave a negative rating to at least let us know how that we can change. We have 0 issues with constructive criticism.
We love constructive criticism.
Right, but if you're going to give us like a 1-star or a 2-star or a 3-star, like...
Tell us why.
Yeah, we want to know what it is that we can do so that we can fix it.
What can we do to make it better?
So...
And we hope that you stay safe.
And that you stay healthy.
And you stay
Criminal. Bye, guys.
Bye.